Have you ever noticed something strange about mixed signals? When someone's consistent with you, you might actually feel bored. But when someone is inconsistent, suddenly they become much harder to stop thinking about. And the strange part is, most people interpret that feeling as attraction. But that's actually not what is happening. What you're feeling is not attraction. It is your brain getting pulled into a very specific psychological loop. And once you understand this loop, you start seeing certain relationships very differently. I want you to think about the last relationship or the last time someone gave you mixed signals. One day they were warm, attentive, texting you constantly. You felt like the connection was growing. And then suddenly, they became distant. Maybe the replies got slower. Maybe the enthusiasm disappeared. Maybe they just disappeared entirely. And that's when something interesting usually happens inside your mind. You start replaying conversations. You reread messages. You wonder if you said something wrong. You start trying to figure out what changed. And without realizing it, that person suddenly occupies more space in your thoughts. There's a reason for that. Your brain reacts very strongly to unpredictable rewards. In psychology, this is called intermittent reinforcement. It is one of the most powerful conditioning mechanisms human experiences. It works like this. When a reward is predictable, your brain relaxes. But when a reward appears randomly, your brain starts chasing it. That's why slot machines are addictive. And surprisingly, the same mechanism can appear in relationships. When someone gives you attention constantly, your nervous system feels calm. But when attention appears randomly, your brain becomes focused on predicting when it will happen again. And that anticipation creates a strong emotional pull. And this is why someone who treats you inconsistently can start to feel incredibly important to you, not necessarily because they are, but because your brain is trying to solve the uncertainty. And humans are very motivated to solve uncertainty. In fact, uncertainty can make something feel more valuable than it actually is. Your brain starts attaching meaning to every interaction. A text suddenly feels significant. A small moment of attention feels like proof the connection is real. And the more unpredictable the attention becomes, the stronger that loop can get. You're no longer just enjoying someone's company. Your brain is trying to predict the next moment of validation. And here's the part that confuses many people. Healthy relationships usually don't activate the system. They tend to feel calmer, more stable, more predictable. And if your nervous system is used to emotional unpredictability, that calm feeling can actually feel unfamiliar. Sometimes people even interpret it as lack of chemistry. But chemistry and emotional activations are not always the same thing. Sometimes what feels like chemistry is simply your nervous system reacting to uncertainty. So when someone feels impossible to stop thinking about, it is worth asking an uncomfortable question. Is this connection actually deep? Or is my brain responding to unpredictability? Once you start understanding this pattern, something interesting happens. You begin noticing when attraction is coming from genuine connection and when it is coming from emotional uncertainty. And that awareness often changes how you experience relationships. If you're interested in understanding these patterns more deeply, I created a workbook called Break the Pattern that helps you identify the emotional loops that's showing up in relationships and how to interrupt them. Because sometimes the person who feels the most exciting is actually the person triggering the strongest pattern. And I want you to keep that in mind. Thank you for listening, and I will see you later. Don't forget to subscribe if you related to this video.